All right, let's dive right in. If you're prepping for your AWS certification, you know the networking section can be a real beast. So for the next few minutes, we're going to do a super fast review of everything you absolutely need to know to pass.
Feeling a little stressed? A bit overwhelmed by all the acronyms and services? You've got your VPCs, NACLs, Direct Connect. I get it, it's a lot, but don't worry, that is totally normal, and we are about to bring some serious clarity to all that chaos.
Just think of this as your final high-speed cram session. We're going to hit the most important concepts, the key differences, and the simple analogies that will help all this stuff really lock into your brain for exam day. You ready? Let's do this.
First up, let's start at the very beginning. How do your users even get to your application in the first place? We need to talk about the global front door to AWS, the services that greet your traffic before anything else happens.
Honestly, this is the best way to think about a content delivery network. So let's forget about bits and bytes for just a second. Imagine you're delivering pizza. You wouldn't make every single pizza at one central kitchen and then drive it across the country, right? Of course not. You'd have local shops everywhere. And that's the core idea.
And in the AWS world, our pizza delivery network is Amazon CloudFront. The key word here, the one you have to remember, is caches. CloudFront caches your stuff, your videos, your website data, at all these edge locations around the globe. So if a user in Tokyo requests your video, they get it from a server right there in Tokyo, not all the way from your main server in Ohio. It's super fast. That's low latency.
Okay, but then we have this other service called AWS Global Accelerator. And this is where people get tripped up, so listen close. This is not about caching content. It's all about finding the fastest, most reliable path for your traffic to take by using the private AWS Global Network, avoiding all the traffic jams on the public internet. It's like having a special GPS that knows all the secret high-speed tunnels.
So for the exam, these are your magic keywords. When you see a question that talks about multi-region applications, or automatic failover, or improving performance for things that can't be cached, your brain needs to light up and just scream Global Accelerator. You get one simple entry point for your users, and AWS does all the smart routing behind the scenes.
So let's just nail this down, because this will be on the exam. CloudFront is about the what? The content. It puts the pizza closer to the customer. Global Accelerator is about the how, the path. It finds the fastest road for the delivery driver to take. Content versus path. If you remember that, you are golden.
All right, so our traffic made it past the front door. Now what? Where does it actually go? Well, it enters your virtual private cloud, your VPC. And you should really think of this as your own private, walled-off fortress in the AWS cloud.
I know, building a VPC from scratch can sound super intimidating, but at its core, it's just a few logical steps. First, you build the outer walls of your fortress. That's the VPC itself. Then, inside, you create different rooms, which we call subnets. Then you need signs and hallways to direct traffic. Those are route tables. And finally, you build a main gate to connect to the outside world, your internet gateway. Walls, rooms, signs, and a gate. See? Not so bad.
Now, those rooms, or subnets, are really important. You have public rooms and private rooms. A public subnet is like the lobby of your fortress. It has a path out the main gate. This is where you put your web servers, the things you want the public to access. A private subnet, though, that has no direct path outside. This is your high security vault. It's where you lock away your sensitive databases, safe and sound.
Okay, so we've built our fortress with walls and rooms. But that's not enough, is it? We need security. We need guards and internal checkpoints to control exactly what can move around inside.
And this right here is one of the most common exam topics, the difference between security groups and network ACLs, or NACLs. A security group is like a personal bodyguard for your server, your EC2 instance. It's stateful, which means if it allows traffic to come in, it automatically allows the response to go back out. A network ACL, on the other hand, is like a guard at the gate of the entire neighborhood, the whole subnet. And it's stateless, which means you need to create separate rules for traffic coming in and traffic going out. So we know how traffic gets into AWS and how it moves around our secure VPC. But how did the internet know where to send the user in the first place? For that, we need a traffic cop.
And that traffic cop is really just a giant phone book for the entire internet. That's honestly the best way to think about DNS, the domain name system. When you type a friendly website name into your browser, DNS looks it up in this massive phone book and finds the real number, the IP address, for the server you want to talk to. And you guessed it, AWS has its own highly powerful version of this phone book, and it's called Amazon Route 53. It does all the basics, like registering your domain and looking up addresses, but it also has some incredible superpowers.
And these superpowers are what make Route 53 so important for the exam. It's not just a phone book, it's an intelligent one. You can set up rules like, hey, if a user is in Germany, send them to my server in Frankfurt. That's geolocation routing. Or you can say, just figure out which of my servers is going to be fastest for this person right now and send them there. That's latency-based routing. It is incredibly powerful stuff.
Okay, we are on the home stretch. One last crucial piece. So far, everything's been happening in the AWS cloud. But what if you still have your own on-premises data center? How do you connect your cloud fortress to your company headquarters? You've got to build a bridge.
And you have two main options for that bridge. First is AWS Direct Connect. This is like building your own private, dedicated highway straight from your data center to AWS. It's incredibly fast, super consistent, and perfect for moving massive amounts of data all the time. The other option is an AWS VPN. This is more like an armored truck that drives over the public internet. The connection is secure because it's encrypted, but it's still subject to public internet traffic. It's more flexible and much quicker to set up.
And just a quick note on that VPN armored truck. There are two flavors. A site-to-site VPN connects an entire location, like your whole office, to AWS. A client VPN is just for individual users, like a remote employee who needs to securely connect their laptop from home.
Phew, okay, deep breath. Let's do a final lightning round. This is your cheat sheet. CloudFront, caching. Global Accelerator, route performance. VPC, your isolated fortress. Security groups, stateful, instance-level bodyguards. NACLs, stateless, subnet-level gateguards. Route 53, smart DNS. Direct Connect, private highway. And VPN, the armored truck. You got this.
We just flew through a ton of information. But remember, this stuff isn't just about passing an exam. These are the powerful tools you use to build incredible, resilient, high-performance applications. So the real question isn't just, are you going to pass? Because you are. But with this knowledge, what amazing problem are you going to solve first? Good luck out there.